Number 10.
Amsterdam, Netherlands. The smallest city in the top 50 is a tiny but mighty dynamo to keep an eye on, led by visionary Mayor Femke Halsema. Literally, she's also a filmmaker, the first non-interim female mayor in the city's history, says Resonance. Her administration's practical stewardship of a place, and citizens, often abandoned to the tourist euro, is co-authoring a future of accountability by everyone who calls the magnetic Dutch capital home. Why we love it. With non-stop flights available from most US cities, Amsterdam's easy accessibility, and beautiful canals and world-class museums, make it a popular stop for any Euro trip. In addition to its top-notch cultural offerings, Amsterdam is also on the forefront of sustainable tourism. Number 9.
Singapore.
Singapore. Singapore's reinvestment into research, talent, and corporate headquarters recruitment ensures it will be home to a sustainably wealthy citizenry for decades to come. It's why the city-state continues its ascent among the planet's most prosperous cities, says Resonance. The Little Red Dot, as the city-state is affectionately called, earned high rankings for safety and foreign-born population. It earns top spots in our eyes and stomachs for its famous hawker stall street food, its garden-like airport terminal, and the reopened Raffles Singapore Hotel, which has been welcoming travelers since 1887. Number 8. Madrid, Spain. Up from the 10th spot, Madrid has bounced back on its feet deftly, continuing a much-needed investment in its bounteous, but long-dormant, infrastructure and public assets that is fueling the Spanish capital's city-building legacy like few eras before, says Resonance. Perhaps the biggest news is Madrid's beautiful measures to combat climate change and pollution, by way of a 47-mile urban forest network with nearly 500,000 new trees that will connect the city's existing forest masses and reuse derelict sites between roads and buildings. Upon completion, this green wall is projected to help absorb 175,000 tons of carbon dioxide per year, and mitigate heat generated by urban human activity. Upon completion, this green wall is projected to help absorb 175,000 tons of carbon dioxide per year, and mitigate heat generated by urban human activity. Why we love it. Spain's capital is best explored on foot, strolling its wide boulevards or wandering down the halls of the Reina Sofia or Prado museums. But be sure to indulge in an afternoon siesta, since Madrid's nightlife scene is not to be missed. In fact, when Afar sent novelist Myra T. Lee on a last-minute trip to Spain in 2019, she rediscovered her love of late nights watching flamenco shows and dancing at clubs in the city's Chuca neighborhood. COVID has curtailed some of the nocturnal fun, but investments in outdoor dining and walking infrastructure should see the city bounce back when the virus eventually recedes. Number 7. Rome, Italy. Few cities serve up the ability to walk Western history like Roma. Heck, Palatine Hill alone invites you into 2 millennia's worth if you've got an hour, says Resonance. A dozen other museums and cultural landmarks have also just reopened or have been unveiled for the first time, says Resonance. Don't miss the reopened Mausoleum of Augustus as well as the Casa Romana, a 4th century residence underneath the Museo di Scultura Antica Giovanni Baracco. Newcomers include the Museo Ninfeo, which chronicles the ruins of a, let's call it, vacation property for Roman emperors. Why we love it. Rome's ancient charms are evident in every cobbled street, but the city never rests on its laurel wreaths. New reasons to visit the city include the city's first Hoxton Hotel and upcoming renovations to the Colosseum. Just be sure not to sit on the Spanish Steps when you return. Number 6. Barcelona, Spain. Barcelona is an almost ideal European city, one with near-perfect weather year-round, miles and miles of beaches, iconic parks, Gaudi's iconic architectural landmarks, and colorful neighborhoods that march to their own beat, artistic, sophisticated, bohemian, says Resonance. Now it can add bike-friendly to the list. What visitors will find is more non-vehicular access to the city. Mayor Kolar has delivered on her promise to reach 125 miles of bike lanes, with another 20 to be completed by 2023. As part of the mayor's Superblock initiative, parking and roads have been replaced with playgrounds and public seating. Just look to Pasig de Sant Joan, recently named one of the world's best streets by Time Out. Sant Joan is one of Spain's first green corridors, designed for self-propelled mobility and exploration with its bicycle lanes, expansive sidewalks, greenery and sprawling outdoor seating, says Resonance. Extra bonus, it's also home to the city's beloved food market, Mercat de el Abaceria, at least until it moves into more permanent digs later. Number 5. Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Dubai is riding the high of Expo 2020, which technically took place 2021 to 2022, a multi-billion-dollar, 6-month World's Fair showcasing nearly 200 nations with future-forward pavilions and seemingly round-the-clock cultural celebrations. Now the UAE hub wants to inspire loyalty and repeat trips among its visitors. Dubai is aiming to be the world's most visited tourist destination, targeting 25 million visitors by 2025. A new United direct flight between Newark and Dubai launches March 2023, that should help. Why we love it, its new Museum of the Future, greater accessibility with more affordable hotel options, a new Michelin guide featuring 69 restaurants, including a Green Star Sustainability honor, and the lure of Santiago Calatrava's Tower at Dubai Creek, expected to eclipse the Burj Khalifa as the tallest building in the world. Number 4. Tokyo, Japan. Despite the pandemic and subsequent derailment of Japan's plans, or perhaps because of them, the Japanese government remains steadfast, keeping its target of 60 million visitors and $136 billion in tourism revenue by 2030. It's not as delusional as it sounds. The country enjoyed record tourism for 7 straight years and can now accommodate even more visitors to Tokyo, with the expansion of the international terminal at Haneda, the city's main airport, says Resonance. There's much ado around Japan's recent reopening to international travelers, and as the world's best city for shopping, wallets will likely open on their return. Why we love it, ranked number 1 for its restaurants, Tokyo is home to some life-changing ramen, making it a destination worth planning an entire trip around food. And if most of your travel budget goes to eating, don't worry. There are plenty of affordable hotels in Tokyo to book. Number 3. New York City, United States. New York City is welcoming back visitors in style with major upgrades to its international gateways, says Resonance. LaGuardia Airport, Newark Liberty International Airport, and John F. Kennedy International Airport all have new terminals, with the new Terminal B at LaGuardia alone boasting 35 gates and looking fine. Back on the ground, Moynihan Train Hall is a new 17-track expansion of Penn Station that, if you squint, can pass for a Northern European transit hub from the future. And if you haven't heard of the biggest hotel opening in the city this summer, just check out a fast review of the new $3,200 a night a man. The city consistently ranks for its culture. New this year is a museum of Broadway, an expanded Louis Armstrong House Museum, the Bronx Children's Museum, a jazz club with Lincoln Center acoustics at a man. New to the sights and landmarks list, a slew of seriously legit food halls like the Singaporean, Malaysian Urban Hawker Center and the Tin Building by Jean George's at revamped South Street Seaport. And as Broadway comes back with a full roster, we expect visitors will follow. Number 2. Paris, France. What returning visitors find is a city that has codified pedestrianism and alfresco living, says Resonance. To ensure cars didn't take back control of Paris streets as pandemic urban pilot projects waned, as was the case in many other cities, Mayor Hidalgo legislated that the 60,000 parking spots loaned to restaurants for outdoor seating simply remained. Nowhere is the transformation more dramatic than along the River Seine in the heart of Paris's tourist district, near Notre Dame Cathedral and City Hall itself. With the reduced car traffic, this is now Paris's town square, in a city with dozens of historic spots worthy of the honor. The Riverside Promenade hosted thousands night after night, even after Paris's Right Bank summer event wrapped up. The Paris Plages Urban Beach Initiative welcomes picnicking and other low-cost access to a city long criticized as pricey and exclusive. As Paris gears up for the 2024 Olympics, it's only getting better. Improved infrastructure, a commitment to pedestrianism, and a handful of new hotels in the past year alone add to a city we love for its world-class art, shopping, and global cuisine. Number 1. London, England. Despite a year when England's longest reigning monarch passed away, despite 3 prime ministers in mere months, despite much warranted hand-wringing about the flight of talent and capital due to the pall of Brexit, and the follow-up spectre of an airborne pandemic, London is hanging in just fine, says Resonance, relying on a dipping currency to attract investment and, of course, previously priced-out tourists. And new residents. New wealthy residents who can now afford to check off a big item on the multimillionaire bucket list, property in the best city on the planet. According to FDI Markets, the Financial Times foreign investment tracker, London has pulled in the most foreign direct investments into tech from international companies since 2018, ahead of New York, Singapore, and Dubai. London's main sites might date back millennia, but the capital's shops, bars, hotels, and restaurants continue to evolve on an almost weekly basis. Whether you're outdoorsy, hungry, or bringing a family in tow, there's a distinct London neighborhood to investigate, and it will likely look different from your last visit. For new hotel options, there's everything from the much-hyped Nomad London to hip 100 Shoreditch to revitalized historic classics such as the Dilly. Do not forget to subscribe and like the video. Thank you for watching.